Well, here we go. It's wide open. We got 1 day and 35 food plots. It's go time.
Well, I think we need. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think we need to talk about that a little bit more because, again, you guys are a seed company, right? And you have attractions, you have things like that. But planting food plots, it is a big investment, whether it's time, money, sanity,
Time, bro.
marriage, whatever it is. I mean, it's a lot.
Yep.
I mean, and we do it more than most.
Yeah.
And so if you're a small landowner, big landowner, you have a lease, you hunt the 10 acres behind your house, it doesn't matter. If you're going to do food plots, you need to take the time to do it right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So get your soil test done. It's easy.
It's cheaper to do it right.
It's $5
Yeah.
to go get a soil
Yeah.
test
Yeah.
done. It
Yeah.
takes 5 minutes.
That's right.
There's a ton of videos out on how to do it. There's all these companies that can do it. You literally scoop some dirt, put it in a bag, send it off. They'll tell you exactly what you need. Now you can go in a little bit further and break that all the way down, but really you need to really look at your big three.
Yep.
Your NP and K.
That's right.
Okay, and that will be in the sheet that they give you. Look at your NP and K. They even make the recommendations: X amount per acre, X amount per acre, X amount per acre, and make those adjustments. And then pick the right seed, the right timing. The great thing about backwoods, you talked about your blends and things like that. You've already done all the work.
Right.
I was the guy before we got on with you guys. I made my own blends because I didn't trust the other seed companies.
Yep.
Because just like you said, your job is to make sure it works for the guys that don't do it right.
Yep.
Well, if I'm doing it right, I know exactly what I'm going to put in. I know exactly what my seed rates are going to be. I'm going to go the full 9 yards and do it. But you guys took it a step further for guys like us that do it all the time and do it right,
Yep.
and say, hey, we're going to make this a lot easier. We've already done it right. This is it. Like when you sent me like your Velvet Plus and your Bachelor Pad, man, before you guys, I was calling guys like, hey, can I get some joint veg?
Yeah.
And I'm like, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
What's a joint veg?
Yeah.
Alice
That's your
Clover is even
Mississippi
harder than
greens.
mine.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alice Clover.
Yes, that's horrifying.
Arrowleaf clover. Like these things, like never heard of it. And I'll still text you like, hey man, what about this, this, and this? You're like, we got a blend for that.
Yep.
Like try this.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So it makes it easy, and planting rate is a
Yep.
huge thing. It's not like we're just throwing this thing in the back of a cedar and taking off. I mean, we're I'm mapping everything out. Okay, this is an acre. I know my planting rate. You guys have already done that. Again, you have it on your website. This is what we recommend. Because if you don't do that, then you kind of got to get in the weeds of it. You got to look at your germination rates. If you got a 90% germination rate, you got to add 10%
Yep.
to what you're going to plant. Then on top of that, you got to account for some of your browse pressure. So then I may be planting an extra 20% on top of that.
Yep.
So it's all of these things where with backwoods, it's made it a lot easier. I don't even do that stuff anymore.
Right.
I literally go in, when I'm ordering seed from you guys, look at what your recommended planting rate are.
Yep.
Depending on the property, I may bump that up a little bit, depending on browse pressure. I typically lean on planting on the higher side than the lower side because we have a lot of deer and it gets hit hard. I
Yep.
mean, from the second it comes up. So things like that. So I would just say if you're going to plant food plots, you're going to take the time, you're going to spend the money, do it right. It's hard to do as it is, and there's all these variables that we can't control, things like weather and all that. So you might as well take the time and control the things that you can control and get it
Yeah.
done the right way.
For sure.
To learn more and see additional content, make sure you follow Backwoods Premium Wildlife Products social media pages. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It was a buck we'd hunted for a couple of years. We'd called him 007. We'd watched him forever. He was probably a below 90s deer. we had a really bad drought last year.
Low 90s.
He was a low 90s
Did you
on
say
a bad drought year.
He was like 4th or 5th on the hit list.
there like a-
Settled.
Is there a 1 in front of the 90s?
It's Kansas, man.
I've hunted some that are just 90s.
Yeah.
But so we went in. We actually put some sugar rush in this little food plot, and it's kind of one of those little kill plots. You know, it's pretty small. It's in the middle of the timber, but we just had a bad drought, and so it started popping up a little bit. The deer weren't too interested in it, so I went back in. Actually, I threw some big 3 in there,
Yep.
just like something to grow. Look, if you just need something to grow, that big 3, you can grow that stuff in the bed of your truck.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can.
I think I'd rather just tell it like it is. And that it's frustrating to start a hunt out frustrated. What had happened? We just spooked a big deer, and that's why I keep looking that way. I saw one run off that looked eerily similar to this deer we're hunting. Which, you know what that means. 15 minutes earlier. We might be done right now.
So I think the light switch has flipped on. So they're moving and it's early. It's probably 2 o'clock right now. So this should get really interesting tonight. Get the big 3 here, me, Tombo, Roche. Get all the rest of the riffraff out of here so we can do some work.
I hope these deer don't come out and ruin my snack.
I don't think I could shoot him. I'm serious. See, when he loves a deer, he loves that deer.
Yeah. Well,
You would have to you'd have to cuss me.
I would recommend it.
We got in here fairly early, fortunately, but the wind was already marginal, and now we're getting some swirling back in where all the deer come from. So instead of being indecisive, we're gonna roll out right now and hike around, kind of take a roundabout way to get like 250, 300 yards from here, where the wind should be a little better.
But talking about pushing into timber at the right times of the year, we had planned on killing that deer in that food plot. I mean, he had been daylight. The issue was, 1, getting in there, and 2, you had to have a perfect wind to hunt it.
Yep.
And so we may get that once a week, but he's been in there like clockwork. Man, I'm watching him on the camera going, oh my gosh, wind's blowing the wrong way, can't hunt it. So Roche goes, he's headed to that stand in that food plot. I get a text from one of our trail cameras. That buck is standing there. Roche is on his way to the stand. I call him. I said, do not go in there. Go to this other stand. It's kind of in the timber. You know, try to rattle him in. I don't know. Just get close to him and hope he comes over. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't walk in there and spook him. So Roche gets in his mind that, man, I hung a stand somewhere in there in 1992. I think I can go find it. He tells his cameraman, come on, we're going to go find this stand that I hung in 1992 and have not seen since. We're going to take a couple ratchet straps, we're going to make it work. So they're not 350 yards from this food plot. So they slip in there, sure enough, they find the stand. It needs a little work, so they get in there and work on it. Rattle a little bit, sure enough, here he comes. A buck we had hunted for years. It took a stand they hung in 1992.
We forgot about this set, and it's cool being back up here because it's been, again, quite a few years. Just a perfect rut spot. It could backfire and royally suck, or we could come home with a trophy, so hang tight. We got plenty of daylight, high expectations. I'm way more positive today than I was yesterday. I like it. Can you feel it? I feel it. I see it. Hey, what are you doing? You doing all right? Mom sent me pictures of McCoy. It's killing me. Hey. You're doing absolutely nothing. Rattle that sucker in. like it. I like it. I'm serious. If I can help with that, I'm happy to. All right. Yeah. We got about 30, 45 minutes of light, so I'm gonna see if I can get something done. All right. I love you. Okay. Love you. Oh my God. He's dead right there. Am I dreaming? Hey, we said we were either going to look really stupid or be brilliant. Oh, give me a hug on that one, old buddy. Oh, kid. Oh. We've been bouncing around with how to kill him. We were going to get back in the locust. Wind was wrong. All right, we'll go to another stand that we haven't seen in 3 years. We think a tree fell on the stand, but we're going to make it work. The wind's a little better. And then we went with option 3, which was no, we're going to go to the oak tree where he was seen 5 days ago. And on the way driving, I told Jake, I said, man, there's a set in here that I haven't seen in maybe a decade. I put this set up here in 1999. I said, let me go see if I can find it, because that's kind of right in his home range. It's really thick. There may be no shots, which this shot right here, my cam was up against the tree. And I had a look, and he's so close, I didn't want to stop him, because I've tried that before and they've blown out. So I just shot him through this little window on the move. I mean, 10 yards straight down. He is big. Dude. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say it again. That's why I love bow hunting. Just play the chess game. Try not to get too greedy, but it's middle of the rut and there's a little more room for error. Oh, thank you, Lord. And man, how nice is it when you get to see them go down? Let's go see him.
It's a good beauty.
Come on. Let's go see him. And that is the smell of a heart shot. He is massive. Good grief. Oh my gosh, look at the mass. So dang big. Golly. Pick the right spot. Oh, we decided to do something that we knew was going to be really stupid or brilliant. And he's just strolled right in. It's unreal. Oh, he's just a hammer. My gosh, can you see that on this side? Just the webbing over here. 18? 18-ish points. Oh my gosh. Dude, we talk about it all the time, about the group hunts being the best. And this is kind of a modified group hunt, but man, having Tombo and Jason here, Bo Dotley, coming out of retirement, makes it so much sweeter.
Yeah, he's big. Oh my God.
Oh, he's way better than I thought he was.
Oh, dude.
Look at that left side. Oh, my goodness.
That is a stud, my man.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand. Like,
That head.
are you ever gonna let anybody else make the wall?
Well, that's the thing. I would have not sent anybody to this spot.
Was it a timber spot?
Oh yeah, nowhere near food. Can't see anything, and I hung it in 99.
When was the last time you sat it?
Probably 99.
99.
I was on the phone with Mo. I was talking to Mo for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
whispering, and we hadn't rattled in a while, so I handed Jake the horns. I'm like, Jake, rattle that sucker in. Quit jacking around. He rattles. This sucker comes strolling through.
He come in like looking to fight, or was he just kind of cruising through?
He was just kind of
Checking it.
meandering through. So I don't know, I don't know if
the horns did it or
rattling
not,
redirected him there,
Yeah.
Not
but
meandering anymore.
he did come right under the tree.
Look at the palmation on that left beam.
That's
his forward, didn't he?
yeah.
That's it. Okay, matters. That's
That
ridiculous.
is stupid. That is stupid good. Very happy for you. Very happy for you.
No, you are.
Yes, I am actually. That's a hammer.
I'm kind of happy.
I'm just glad I got to see it in person.
I love doing it with you guys here, but I hate doing it with you guys here.
What are you
'cause then I-
talking about?
I feel bad.
Oh, you never feel bad about anything.
No, I did for about 5 seconds, and then I was over.
Never.
Roachy shot him at like 10 yards. He dies on camera. One of the biggest bucks we've killed off the place. But
Yeah, it's like my daddy always says, if it's that deer's date,
But we
it's his
talk
day.
about like, hey, there's a time to push into the timber,
Yep.
and then a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of times, because I'm a huge advocate for like hunt on the edge, but
Play
your
it
trail
safe.
camera's on the edge. Like the least amount of bumping deer you can do, the better.
Okay.
And we can talk about the
Right.
shield too, like how it helps us ingress and egress, get in and out of stands without being seen.
You remember when Cody was young? The young bull come out at him all the time.
Yeah.
Me and Keith be sitting back. We're gonna wait on him. Man, he's coming to this field. Cody goes, man, we ain't gonna get him like this. I'm going in there. Funny story. We were on that kind of young bull deal, but they, first just getting in here and I go and I'm filming Jimmy Primos, and man, we're in Iowa. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's a big deer behind every tree. We just gotta
Yeah.
get out of the camp, go. You know, let's go.
Yes, to get the
And so the first morning it's gonna be, it was below zero, and in Mississippi it's like, man, cold front, dude, we gotta go, So I done amped Jimmy up. I'm like, man, we got to go to the killing tree in the morning, Mr. Jimmy. We got to go. Like, they going to be moving, you know. Well, they've never, like, it's always
We
wait
don't
till the
even roll
afternoon,
over.
go in at 9 o'clock,
it's
10
that
o'clock,
cold.
hunt the rest of
Yeah.
the day when the frost starts
Yeah.
coming off,
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
Well, I ain't been a part of that.
Young boy.
So I'm 0 degrees, like, they got
And
they
he
got-
don't hear anything you tell him.
So I wrap Mr. Jimmy up. We strike out. You know, we're sitting in there. It is daylight. It's like -3.
He can't
We're
feel his
sitting in
feet.
2 chairs on this ridge. Jimmy sits there. He goes, "You did it once. Never again." You know, we don't see a deer.
Yeah.
And then now we're rushing to try to get to the food plot for the afternoon. They're already texting 20 deer in the field, and man, Jimmy's just eating. So from then
We went and eat a big breakfast, you know, and then he's on the
So when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.